Recording in progress.
There's a mic in here, right? So I don't have to keep mine on. Yeah, let me sorry.
What I need and I don't have is the thing I'm supposed to read.
Do you have, it's just, I don't think you have to read it when it's
Hybrid.
hybrid.
Okay. Okay, welcome everybody to the June 13th, 2024 meeting of the Gloucester Court, Police and Court Building Committee. First, I'd like to apologize for the meeting getting off a little late. We had a tour of the police station just before and had to migrate over to here after that. So if you're joining us on Zoom, do we know how many we have people?
We have one, I believe the initials are BD, so probably Brad.
Brad Dorr. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We have five voting members of the building committee. So we do have a quorum. I'll begin. I intend to go down the agenda as it was published in that order, unless anybody would like to pull something out of order. Be willing to listen to that. So first order of business is a review and approval of the previous minutes, which were published along, I think about 2 weeks ago, right, Scott? That I sent out to everybody. So I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
I need someone to make a
So
motion.
moved.
So moved, second by, motion by John McCarthy, second by Mike Hill. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions?
Yes, me, I wasn't at the last meeting.
One abstention. Second item on the agenda, presentation discussion regarding the current state of the project, anticipated next steps. I'm not sure who's, Glenn, you're gonna give this?
I can start, yeah. Can you enable screen sharing?
As a panelist, you don't have that right now.
No.
Yeah, we go there.
See me out.
In roughly, I can give, where we're at right now currently. So as you saw in the walkthrough, we're ready for, doing ready to come out and start the punch list. Anticipated turnover is still that July 9th date. June 20th is what we're shooting for our substantial completion. A few more days to make sure all the testing and stuff is ready to move into the building. Balancing is starting up, all the units are getting ready, so we're conditioning the building, getting ready for everyone to come in there. Final cleaning's going on, final paint. Past month has been, a pretty good month for us. We got all the flooring down. Again, we ripped up all the protection we had on the floor, started cleaning everything, getting everything out of the building to prepare for that, for you guys move down officially. And then, looking ahead to phase 3 to start on the courtroom work. Once I'm able to share some financial data that we've been tracking, but we're working with Dormady here in CMS on trying to plan a little bit better, I think, for phase 3 to make it a much smoother process. Hopefully, we don't find as many existing conditions as we found. I think we're aware of what we could find, and we've been tracking that for potential financial impact to the project. There we go. Yep, so permanent power is on, and that, you know, that also comes with starting up all the units, getting everything tested, all the reports done and ready for turnover. Flooring was finished, finishes have started. The plaza was open back up, so that's, you know, where we're using as entrance now. The temporary protection will start coming down over the next couple of days. We just finished the painting of that ceiling in there, as I hope you all saw. Just some photos over the past month, overhead door installation, tile install in the airlock in the lobby when you first come in. This is the courtroom framing, so because we were able to move the clerk down into a trailer down in the laydown yard. We've started work up in the courtroom framing, another way to help advance our phase 3 schedule, as this takes up about 25% of the floor up there. Ceiling wide out, and you'll see the floor protections down, obviously that has since come up. And then just, you know, some carpet install and window work that we have ongoing. So June look ahead, you know, final clean, substantial completion, looking at the 28th of June. Punch list will be starting next Monday with Dawn Whittier, so we'll take care of all those items that they come up with. And just, you know, some finished items, signage, shades will be going in. And then our look aheads are phase 3 planning, and then, you know, helping wherever we can assist with the move of the police down back to, you know, your final location. So cost summary. So as of last month, we had 11 change orders for $758,000. The May pencil requisition brought us to about 70% complete. So this month will be probably right at 75, you know, end of June, which is kind of what we were tracking from the beginning. You know, 75% of them were complete up until the end of phase 2, and about 25% left over for phase 3. CM contingency, we're right at 52,000. And allowance usage is up to, you know, 37%. We're definitely utilizing more allowances as we're finishing up phase 2, so now we know where we can allocate some costs and things that we necessarily don't need as phase 2 that we thought we would need, so we'll be able to allocate some more. Hopefully no changes, but allocate funds and things that come up to allowances moving forward. So change order summary, so change order 12, I should say, for May has a value of 30,910. Again, there are a couple change orders out there. A lot of these are just some T&M work and things that we're tracking in phase 3, such as the roof replacement above the courtroom. And then still on track to hit that July 9th date. We're working on our phase 3 schedule. We should have that over the next couple weeks, you know, revamping and revising to try to compress and hopefully hit an end of the year turnover of the whole building, which would be really nice. And then just tracking proposal requests, we got 100 proposal requests with 8 CCDs. Any questions? This is just some of the allowance usages that we have.
Any questions by the committee? Comments?
Hope you guys enjoyed the walkthrough today. You know, it's nice to take around as we're getting right to that finish line and finishing up, so.
Yeah, and thank you, John. Thank you, staff, for us as well, for doing that. I know there's a lot of work was put into preparing it for us to come
Sure.
through, so certainly appreciate the effort. Okay, there's no,
Yeah, the only thing I would add to John's summary was furniture with a delivery date of the 28th. And they'll be working over the next couple of days. They'll be done by the 8th. So it'll give us a little breather room, little wiggle room there in their schedule, but probably that last day will just be punch listing for them to do their furniture. And then, yeah, like John mentioned, we'll be out here next Monday to start the punch list. And over the last month, we've been on site. We've had both Lee and I have been on site, once a week. So, you know, kind of doubled our time on site. So it's good answering questions in the field. So these guys just being available to help, you know, smooth that process and get us to the finish line.
great, thanks, Chip. I know this is where all the little things can start to pile up for sure. So I think having that on-site presence I'm assuming makes it a lot more efficient to kind of communicate, get things resolved.
Was he the tall guy?
Lee tends to be a tall guy.
I think, so John, with the guy with the glasses,
Oh,
with the white shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Yeah,
white shirt.
that's John, yeah, that's the super, so, yeah, it was Billy, John and Jack for a while. Billy got placed on another job because there was a need over there, so John has stayed here, he'll be taking over going into phase 3. But yes, he's quite the chatter.
Anything else? Any other comments, questions? Okay, moving on to agenda item 3, presentation approval of the owner's change orders. Scott, I'm guessing that's you.
All right. Sure. All right. We'll start with the change order number 12 this month, for a total of $30,910. Consisted of PCO number 88 for electrical power and data revisions. We pulled this from an allowance, for miscellaneous electrical work. This is a client request for added electrical in the wash commander's room. PCO 100 for exit sign relocations for $1,917 due to some conflicts with ceiling heights. PCO 103 was a CCD 007, and roll call revision for $4,009. This was work to build out that wall in the roll call room that was an existing, actually not a CMU, it was a concrete wall. PCO 115 was some this was the work in the plaza, the remaining work to finish the ceiling up for $24,984. PCO 118, HU1 and EF2 routing revisions. These were due to some existing systems in the mechanical room. The routing needed to be revised for the AHU1 and the EF2 ductwork. PCO 121 R1 was level 1 fin tube revisions, which was an allowance pull. These were some conflicted issues with the window sill heights. PCO 123 was level 2 fin tube revisions, also allowance pull, and this was due to existing conditions. The window heights, the fin tube enclosures were reduced. So the total, like I said, $30,910. And if there's any questions, I can show you kind of where that brings us in overall budget in a minute, but any questions on the change order?
The window heights, we're still dealing with those again?
No, not anymore. I mean, the fin tube radiator heights were
18
gonna,
inches.
yeah, they were gonna impact the operation of the windows. So we found another lower model that would work better and so
And the padding out of that wall in the roll call, was that something you just covered in progress, that it was a concrete wall? That had to be padded out?
Correct, yeah, that was, we had that as surface mounted, well, we didn't realize it was a concrete wall when we were surveying the road, so. So we did have to, we had recessed items in that wall, and one of the, the infrastructure for the TV to be concealed, so. The right answer was to build out that wall.
So will we take a motion on these in the summary of all these and no additional change orders, correct? Is there a number on this that we should reference interest?
right here, the 30,910. And it's change order number 12.
Number 12, I accept the motion to accept change order number 12. The amount of $30,910.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it.
All right, moving on to let's see what's next up here. This is I'll move that back up. Start with the payment recommendation letter, then I'll move to the budget. These are the monthly bills due. We had First bill was Dora Whittier for $23,566.17. WT Rich, application number 13 for $663,307. CMS, $24,000. It's testing services done from Yankee Engineering for $2,085. Watson is the dispatch furniture for $77,613.86. BCM Comfort Systems, partial payment $4,653.36. And Pro AV Systems, $12,586.97 for a total amount due for last month's work, $807,812.36.
Any questions on the invoice? I'll accept the motion to approve the payment for the invoice of invoice in the amount of $807,812.36. So moved. Second. Motion by Mike Hale, seconded by John McCarthy. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Approved.
Moving on to the budget summary update. We are at 62.5% complete overall. We have, this includes everything through change order number 12. And which we just voted on, as well as all the bills that we just presented, so. Balance is 7 million, 7 million, almost just a little over $7 million. Cost today 12 million. I can give you, probably want to know kind of more where we're at with contingency and what we have left, so I put this together. So our original contingency balance was 1,000,004. We've spent 783,000 through change order number 12. We have an estimate of liabilities with about 15 open PCOs. Some of these are approved and some are being tracked in TM with a ROM of 191 to 250,000. We're also tracking some potential phase 3 costs. The main ones are the building leaks, the stairwell, the firing range, the Romex replacement on level 2, possibly some at 3. Remove and replace the drywall under windows, level 2 as well. So with that, we're estimating a range of 274,000 to 383,000 left to date, like at this point, left over contingency. We also have the allowances within these are the 3 categories here of allowances. The total of that is $343,000 left in allowances, and we have 55,000 left in, or almost 56,000 left in CM contingency. And just a little FF&E summary here. We have commitments of about $840,000 to date out of the 1,148. And that leaves about $308,000 left in that. So right now we got somewhere in the range of 980 to 1,1 left over with the liabilities and stuff, so we're not in terrible shape. So, any questions on that? I think earlier on, we were definitely concerned, we talked about in some earlier meetings, about if we're gonna have to go out for extra money. And I see that right now unless we're gonna add something. You know, like if we were gonna do another project in front, under the canopy area, the plaza. We may be able to pay for some of that within here, depending on when it needs to be done. You know, if we can, we don't have a lot of left in just contingency stuff, we got, you know, this 300,000 or so. I'm sure that there'll be more stuff that comes up in phase 3, but we're trying to anticipate what we've learned from the first 2 phases. So,
Probably should talk with the entrance. Because I'm not sure exactly how that works as planned. I don't think it does work as planned. I think that the workarounds, which again, is kind of this much money and work, that having a workaround, I think is for entrances or appearance for view chief. So I think we probably have some sort of thoughts on what that's gonna look like, how it's gonna function. How it's gonna, we have drainage issues underneath there, we have water running into the front lobby as it's posed now. I don't really see the workaround being any of these numbers.
no,
So, and I don't know what Dornbury's plan was when they put this together, or it was not considered. It appears that we kind of have a significant project to make this right.
So where are we with that? Because my last memory was that you were gonna talk to a couple of contractors or were there some people, someone told me there were some people out there taking measurements and getting
So I had it surveyed.
Surveyed.
So we have an idea what we're working with. Scott's drafted some sort of, you know, suggested alternative there. I've had some of my people look at it and I'm waiting to hear back on a full plan, but it's where do you end? You know, your water doesn't drain out of there very well now. So we want to continue that issue because it's an icing issue. A good opportunity to address it now. I don't know how we make that ramp work without some significant alterations to the whole area of the court.
Right.
Ramps, I believe it's too steep right now. And again, you have a ramp running from the exterior of the building right to a tiled foyer, which is gonna lend itself to water just, and there's no provisions for drainage. I don't know if there's a threshold drain.
there's no threshold drain, there's a drain inbound to that, near that
An area drain.
wall, an area drain, yeah.
Which I don't know if goes anywhere. What was the plan?
Utilize the existing infrastructure. Our only scope in that area at the outset was in terms of the ramp and making sure the ramp is accessible.
Without the consequences of what happens when you make it accessible. Because it's an issue. I mean, again, I don't know if it's an oversight or just wasn't a consideration at all. It's just, you know, right now the ramp drains into the building. Which again, I think for a public building to think there's gonna be water on a tiled floor is probably not very.
Yeah, that knowledge was not given to us during the design process. We didn't understand, we didn't have an understanding of that water was running into the building.
Water runs downhill. It's pretty obvious that we have an exterior. When it rains, it's gonna hit the ramp and it's gonna run right into the building. It's the only place it can go. You can't have the ramp leaning towards the area drain. You have to have it, you know. I don't, we're here, so I think we have to come up with a solution. You know, she didn't know water ran downhill. I don't know. It's the best response.
Well, it can run down the ramp and find its way to an area drain, which is in that area.
You can't slow it. You're not gonna get the water to run down and come back. It's not how water works. So I think it's just, we need to consider what's gonna happen here because we don't have a solution right now.
Like I said, nobody told us water was running into the building during the design process. That's what's happening. If that's what was happening, we were not aware of that.
So in terms of next steps, you have,
I have someone looking at it, but again, I think we're gonna have to talk carefully contractually how this works, because I'm gonna come up with a solution to a problem, hopefully. And it's gonna try to fit with this project. And again, where we stop. is gonna be something that the committee's going to decide, either it can be this big or that big. Yes.
Well, there's form and function, right? And that's gonna be. You know, we were,
First and foremost, form and function.
right, so we have, from the get-go of this project, you know, the overall overlying sort of intent. From my perspective was, we're putting a lot of money into this building, into this project, and certainly during the tour today, I think everybody would agree, it feels like a new building, which is what we asked for. That was kind of what I said. I want staff and, you know, officers to come back and make it feel like they're in a new place. But also that the public comes to the building and feels like their tax dollars were well spent. And that's not always the pragmatic things, that's the design and that's the, you know, the aesthetics of it as well.
Front door is the first thing you see. I think that's important for your staff
Right.
and visitors to the courthouse and police station.
I just had this discussion, that was the, it was my thought around taking down that exterior wall that was once between the court space and the police station. That created a secondary entrance for the police station, is I want the building to be welcoming. Because courts and police departments are historically places that raise anxiety for people, including people that have been cops for 32 years. And I think you've accomplished that certainly on the inside, but we're definitely gonna have to, we don't want to compromise that with, you know, with the exterior not being done the right way, so. So I guess the next step is, wait till you have some feedback from your people, then maybe we convene. Doesn't necessarily have to be the building committee, but maybe we can meet a smaller group, yeah. Kind of discuss and look at it and see, get some hard numbers, figure out what we're gonna do. Anybody else have any questions?
Question a few people brought up to me is the ceiling that matches the one that's redone. It's sort of over our roll call window. If that is gonna be done as well, or if they're gonna be mismatched.
So I believe the plan for that ceiling is to cover up, we're not gonna have the lighting there. Right, there were two lights there that are not being replaced.
Right.
There's no plan to replace that ceiling.
Not
Because there was no
holistically, no.
need.
No, it would be a patch and then, we can paint them to match.
Yeah, we'll
Just
paint the
the
match.
match the underside.
The reason why the other ceiling was done is because we had a choice between, because of the fire suppression had to go in. So we had a choice either to have them tunnel through the ceiling, which there's no way they would have been able to like completely match, or to take the whole thing down and do it right. And at the same time, upgrade our lighting and tie it into their lighting around the whole building. So that was what decision there, but the decision on that one would be to cover up those lights.
So you don't need the lighting at that location, so we can abandon those lights, patch it.
Right. And there is a potential for exterior lights talked about, and that one light, the police light on the corner there.
Right.
Being
Yeah.
added, so.
Right, to help light the memorial, the curved piece of that entry, correct, that's suspended above, adding some lighting to that to light that memorial area, the passive memorial.
We talked about a wall back or something. but-
Yeah, so I think we're gonna address it from the inside of the court, run conduits around and then up through, pick up some wall backs.
Yeah, it's an up down light, it's a little bit nicer than the wall backs that we have out backyard.
Yeah.
It's an up down light, but that's.
Great. Other questions, comments? Any other business that I haven't already addressed, or was it on the agenda as posted? Discuss?
No, just update on furniture and equipment we've been buying. We've been buying computers within the you know, the authorizations. We've been looking at some miscellaneous small equipment, stuff like that. Everything fits within the budget and is encapsulated here in these numbers, so. Yeah, next, we may have some new potentially some new vendors over the next few months as we, you know, as you move and find something that we need. We talked about like waste baskets, things like that.
Right.
That just wanted to move down in the space and then see what else.
Yeah, I think today's tour was
Stuff we
helpful. The people that are gonna probably make a lot of those decisions were on the tour, so Heidi and Stacy. And I think it'll be helpful once we get down there to have a sense of like getting new waste baskets. And we've been talking about a barrel. I don't want to take the nasty, dirty round, you know, outside barrels down and put it in a new space. But we need barrels with covers that, you know, for food items and stuff like that. So yeah, that's ongoing. Anything else?
There's a sink on the floor of zero. The old white sink, is that getting replaced?
That was
Is that-
determined that was a desire to keep that.
Yes.
sink.
Okay,
And it got
complicated.
complicated.
It's
because
complicated.
okay,
If it had changed, there was some other issues that would have surfaced as a result. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
it wouldn't, yeah, I would have to, we touched it, then we'd have to make it accessible.
I think we
For-
can recode it though, right, and put new hardware, new,
I mean, it can,
faucet on it? Oh, yeah.
You can put a shine on it?
And it'll be clean before.
yeah, it's not gonna look the way it looked
Yeah.
I was
today.
hoping like something more like stainless steel to make it.
No,
fit
once
into
we
the
did,
space.
yeah.
it was addressed, the choices were a very expensive choice. Or no sink back there, so, because it has to be compliant, ADA compliant, required a significant amount of modification. So we thought it's important to have a sink behind there, and we just decided to leave it in place. As a memorial to the way booking used to be.
But yeah, you can get coatings for
The
those.
historical item.
And see how well it
Yeah, yeah.
cleans up and then,
Yeah.
you know, new faucet, you can do a lot of stuff
Yeah.
with that.
Or we can address it like a year from now. You know what?
I think you got people waiting for the room.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna, Stacy already yelled at me via text, you're coming in next, but, at 1. So if there's no other discussion or questions, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. Second,
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? Thank you very much. Thanks. I hope everybody enjoyed the tour. Thought that was productive. And, you know, now you guys can spread the word. Actually, don't tell anybody how nice it is yet. I'm a big believer in
I already
under
sent out
promise,
the
over
pictures.
deliver.